Hey guys, it's Hayden here making another video. Today I want to talk about meditation and deep listening, and I also have a product that I recommend that I will show later. Let's get into it. For anyone who's new to my channel, I talk about my own personal journey, the lessons that I learn, the adventures I go on, and anything that I feel like may be of value to other people. So if that is something that you feel like you might be interested in, make sure to check out my other videos. And if you like this video and my other videos, then maybe consider subscribing. Obviously, I've talked about meditation on my channel before, something that I practice, something that is extremely powerful and can be really helpful. There are a lot of misconceptions about it. There's a lot of expectations around it. There can be a lot of pressure around it. At least for me, there has been. So I don't know if you relate with that. But I'm going to explore those and talk about those today because I have learned a lot on my path doing meditation. So the standard kind of practice that most people recommend when it comes to meditation is to try to do it as much as possible, almost every day for a certain amount of time. And that's great if you can do that. That's amazing. I'm not one of those people. I definitely struggle with having something specifically the same thing every day, the same way, it just doesn't work for me. So if you're one of those people, then this is a video that might help you. Meditation at its core is a practice of mindfulness and a practice of awareness. So it is a practice of being able to become aware and to become present in the moment and to notice thoughts, observe them, not necessarily get attached to them, and be able to kind of, in some ways, like find a center on some level. That's the, if you had to say a goal, that's kind of the goal for me, is to be able to be like, okay, I'm sitting and I'm able to find like, okay, like I'm not all the stuff that's going on around me. I'm not all the stuff that's in my head, right? So having the expectation that you need to do a meditation every single day for me is a very heavy burden, and is something that like makes me burnt out. The days I miss, and I start to feel bad, and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Why didn't I meditate? Then it spirals. So let's like, if you can do that again, that's amazing. Amazing, good job. I'm not one of those people. So if you can't do that and you're like me, then use it as a tool in your toolkit that you can use when it's helpful. So if you feel like you want to meditate, go meditate. Spend 10, 5, 15 minutes, whatever works for you. Just spend a little bit of time sitting and using whatever modality of meditation that you want to use. I tend to just focus on the breath, and I just notice the thoughts coming up, notice them just there, and I just kind of let them pass by, right? Over time, when you do that, at first it's really busy. You keep coming back to the breath. Eventually, the busyness starts to slow down, and you're like, ooh, nice. This is like peaceful, right? Not all the time, obviously. Sometimes it just is busy all the time. And other times I sit I sit down and immediately like, boom, just like very nice and peaceful. But generally that is not the case. Usually there's a lot going on. People who live in society, it can be hard. We got bills, there's a lot on our plate, there's a lot on our minds. It's hard to kind of immediately sink into meditation unless you have established that, right? So it's been a really helpful tool for me and a really helpful way for me to reset. And it's not the only tool I use for mindfulness. I also do sauna, which I have one in my basement, and I love that, which I maybe can make a video about and share what sauna I use, because like, use it at least 3 days a week. I freaking love that thing. It's amazing. I've also done cold plunges, which recently I have not been doing just because like they're extremely, it's very stress inducing to get in there. Once you're in there, it's fine, but like when my stress is already high, doing a cold bath doesn't necessarily make me feel better. Like afterwards it does, but the amount of stress I have to go through to like get in there and the first 30 seconds, it's just like the sauna is way better and for me at this time. But I have it there as a tool if I want to use it at any point. Meditation is another one of those tools that allows me to kind of just like, all right, there's a lot of busyness. Let's take some time. Let's sit. Let's reflect. Let's be present. And let's just be here, right? Another tool that I use is drum circles. Drumming can be really helpful. I usually don't do it by myself. I usually do it with my mentor, Iggy, if he's running a drum group. That's an excellent way to just like be mindful and present. But anyways, one of the tools that I use for meditation is the Muse, and this is the product. This is an advertisement. Newsflash. But it's also a tool that I really enjoy. It's something that I use when I meditate because having been diagnosed with ADHD, it's something that I've always struggled with meditation. This is something that I've been wanting a long time for. I even told my dad like years ago, I was like, this would be so cool if they could make a technology that would allow us to have feedback on our meditation to know if we're actually being present. And that was one of the biggest barriers for me with meditation was not knowing when I am present. And so like sometimes I would think I was present, but I was actually just thinking that I was present and not being present. So this Muse, this is the Muse 2, not the Muse S, has been extremely helpful for me. Extremely, extremely helpful. So I just put it on like this. Boom. And again, I'm sharing this with you guys because like genuinely this has helped me a lot, and I use this pretty much every time I meditate, and it's made a big difference because it gives me direct feedback, and it comes into there's an app here, so the Muse app, it connects to that and it gives you feedback on your meditations. So I can pull up my old meditations. So it says it'll give you data on all your meditations, on how much mindfulness you have and stuff, but you can look more up about it if you want to. But it basically tracks your brainwaves and it gives you feedback based on how you're meditating. So if your thoughts are really loud, then like the music gets louder, and if your thoughts are more quiet, the music slows down, or like the sound effects slows down, and then you hear little bird chirps. And so that's an indicator that like, hey, like you're in the sweet spot. You're like in that mindfulness state. So I would highly recommend it. I am an affiliate with them, so I'll put a link below. If that is something you're interested in, I would recommend it. If you use the link, it does help me out. I get like 10% of the commission off of it. And again, like the only reason I am sharing this on my channel is because I genuinely believe in this product and it's genuinely helped me. And I know that there's probably other people out there who have similar dispositions to me as far as mindfulness and like struggling to stay present during meditation. So I would recommend this for sure. Just if anything for your own peace of mind, knowing that like, hey, like I am actually being present right now. It's been extremely helpful. I love having that like tactile data to like look at and say like, yep, that is what I'm doing when I'm meditating. And I've noticed a difference. It's like streamlined my meditation because now I can have that discernment of knowing when I'm present and when I'm not. And so even without my my headset, I can start to have that discernment as well. So I would definitely recommend it as a tool. But I do think that like having some kind of practice of deep listening or being able to kind of take time to reflect or just be present with where we're at in the moment is extremely helpful, whether it be meditation, whether it be like sauna or drum circle, or whether it's like playing tennis or I don't know, doing the dishes, whatever is like a mindful activity for you. I think it's really helpful to just be in a place where like you're not changing anything, you're just sitting there and being present with what is. And when we have that listening in that place where we can kind of decompress and allow ourselves to be, it allows for some of that baggage and some of that heaviness to kind of slide off. Because if we're constantly engaging in, it's how the monks, or in Buddhism there's a saying like, if you stir the water, it becomes murky, like the mud comes off the bottom. But if you just let the mud settle down to the bottom, then the water becomes clear. So that's kind of like what meditation is being able to just like not stir the pot. So if we're like active engaging with thoughts like, oh yeah, like I need to do that, and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened yesterday, and it goes down, we're stirring the mud up, right? Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, if we're always doing that, then our life just starts to feel muddy, right? So it's good to be every once in a while to have time to be able to let the mud settle down so we can actually have some clarity and breathe again. Otherwise, that stress continues to build up. So the Muse is a tool for that. There's many other tools for that, but I just figured I would offer this for you guys because, like, genuinely it's helped me, so it might help you guys. And I think there is a sale going on for 15% off right now, which they run sales often, so just keep an eye on that if that's something you're interested in. So just thought I would share that with you guys, and I will catch you guys in future videos. Don't think I have anything else to share about that. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Take time for yourself, seek your truth, and adios.